Hello, good afternoon. My name is Said. Welcome to Revolution Live weekly Q&A session with Bokor Christopher Voncujovi. We are broadcasting live from Afrikan Magick Temple on the Spintex Road. Papa will be great to have your questions, and he will be very honored to answer them and provide more insight on African traditional spirituality and other things which he would like to share with us. Please send me your questions and don't forget to write where you are watching us from and share with your loved ones and your friends so that they can also participate in this knowledge, join us so that they benefit from this knowledge sharing from Papa. So we'll continue from here and then we'll now.
Hello everybody, good afternoon from Ghana, from African Magic Temple. We are transmitting on the Revolution platform, and we are saying hello to everybody everywhere in the world, wherever you are. Maybe good evening, maybe it's a good morning. We are in the afternoon here in Ghana, and we hope you will join us in this question and answer section on African traditional spirituality. Please share on your platforms and on your pages so that other people can join in. We are about to start, so we will go to pray at Alorkpli or Legba's place, and then we'll go to Legba to pray, and then we'll come back here or because of the transmission, the router, our internet Wi-Fi will not be able to reach where the Legba is today. So we'll pray at the Alorkpli's place, and then from there we'll come back to the office here. Today the noise, I think, will be it's a little bit better than what we did last time at Ezume, where it was noisy. People complain about the noise. So please follow us to Alorkpli, where we'll be praying. So sometimes we will pray at Legba when we are able to extend our Wi-Fi, what do you call it, the internet connection, or the Wi-Fi capacity, or what is it? What do you call it in your
Coverage.
Coverage, yes, in the coverage to the Legba, then we can pray there. But today our coverage won't be able to go all the way to Legba and then come to you. So we'll be praying to Alorkpli, and from there we'll continue. So please get your questions ready, get your friends ready, let people know that we are back on air this afternoon from African Magic Temple, transmitting on Revolution platform. Thank you very much. Please follow us to our Alorkpli. ago apeli. Jachi fafa na okelo. Jachi fafa na okelo. Jachi. Sere gaji. Jachi. Yema yo flag ati se ko jachi. Pagwe damali. Jachi na ni. Yeah, open the drink for me. Ago apeli apeplogodo azagbaja po people apeli to aglenyo apeli to asinyo apeli to awonu popo onu no onyu ewo no ono asisinku gameyo ama ya si agbo ba fun onya apeli to aya agbe agbo ba fun onya apeli to ayi gbeje agbo ba fun onya apeli to nya pe na me yo sere gaji afore keto be wonu afore meto wa kire ku atire me yo bogo betu yo ora ke yo aflanga tise be me no abango afagle awudi afa be chafa afagle awudi play be aja ke go me do me yo to gbe da male bo ke ma do ba sa bo go no pe di male ko me le go le ko aha na o ke ago me yo ese kokoli ko se la tafia se joto amejo to se na anu ame ese ti enu ame wo me no bi to ko bi o me no bi me bi anu to ko bi o gbe to ko bi me bi anu wo me no bi o gbe se nye me yo ye me yo she me han fura se mi fura sho piti do ago mauga kiti kata mauga se mauga kiti kata me yo me apeti mauga so bolisa me yo me apeti pepe yo fana go fa bo ma so pepe to mo so me ta pa gidi yo pẹ̀lú gbe méjì yo ku méjì wori méjì lo so méjì mo méjì abla méjì atra méjì dula méjì sama ka méjì gbe méjì dula méjì le tele méjì méjì ko ti ku la mo yo la ba yo no so je ni so do fama yo ra ko we dai ba te so la fama ba te ka na mo na te me yo le ba ti so ba me ko no so o voy a fana go fa bo ma so ko to ta pa ti yo ko ni me yo to que je ko hara ine agbe di me yo mi do mi awe le mi ya ba si ya de lo ba to taranga wa kana mi o pe ko na ba egbe ni ka Facebook live to gbe mi ase mere ame yo pe ti le so me mi apo agbe ni ba na mi no asile mi no agbe ni no ame yo so di ko so ko mo po fi ame le agbe di mo pa go ame yo ba na me se so mi na o ba na me se gudu na me yo mi ame yo ko kala mi mi to se pe na ku da gbe asida gbe la se agbe go mo yi le ba ago re enu ago re e je le boko no mo du acho be ga o do ayo ko to ko tira do emi na mi ayo ko re mi ago mo na ni ko ne ba ni wo ahare e ke to before I had any and we never get to yo que e ko kala mi le ba je le mi mi se ba ke to lo yo ba ke to re o mi amo na hai mi yo le ya da mi ore to ni chati fa mi yo me bi le kala ba du mo re ba tu me yo ko le do meji yo ko meji wo le meji lo so meji mo le apla me ki na me sa me ka me ki ko me Christmas egbenye 1st December 2019 esi so bi ko mi ave peta totoro badu ni our end of year ceremony na the 21st na te pe gbere to gbeji bi hand of mi jira mi ro ko ya chi ni ato ni fa Okay, now we are done with Apeli. We are now going into the office to start transferring. Okay. Apparently, he has not drank the palm oil today. Okay. Yes. I mean, Jenny, did you come and follow? I'm gonna follow. It doesn't make any difference. We just the people. Oh, abuchi sakra kama chwa ba be adogo kotokoli don ko kulima ko agona mbe tomano le chofra tomano fifi ko ba sinkra me yo ko fito jaba ko choto ko fiti hen ko via tra me yo kable me yo rakete ya me yo apele de ma pesa ko chino ko eche de muno ko chingo le von ko eche tv ta ke me de egbe fere ke de egbe fe pesa de e de egbe sa to de pesa jita eta e de egbe sa ye nyo woli pepe me yo sugu me subo bi ani has chapimba gbe chapimba so de chapimba biji chapimba nunca tava pela cora ko ba bia ta ko pela cora nunca tava pela cora ba ko na dunu be eta ko pela cora nunca tava pela cora benela ko nu eta ko pela cora ala la otu jo ako mo tu jo afane ma no be mi be placer e yo ra Sambia ma no amesi do wa mo beri ro no le gbe si ne chona mo lo to si ne chona mo lo le ma mi ata o si no chona mo lo la ge o si no chona mo lo la me ko si le yo mo no chona e sakla to che voti vocamento che vorrei me do a giocare vo tintio me io ora e me io appena me vedo petit pour là akai to ba pa e me io ha uno tiji boko tiji to tiji me io click ni hasi se to tiji ala su bara gona na ba pa e boko da flusso agovi ba pa boko afa chao ajoke mi ba pa to me ne fa na mi bo na go do na fa na me io to ni kwaso ko yo ma nya kwaso ko fu ni ko geje mi ba pa e me io to bene go mi go do kru che kuma ko la ga to bu je me le mi io me io ya ke mi ba pa ha lo na quella per vita grassi da bene ma go mi to me le Facebook live wo mi le revolution be platform mi African Magic Temple mi na mi Antonia apu su me na mi apu mo na mi na ngo gbe never torrente doji ame obete le mi akpo le fese ma passer apa na la me sese agbedidi e do ame le do dio me le do pon no po do ame le so dio me le so pon no po ame le so me po le vi pon no po vi ame yo e jivi le me ta pon no vi o me ta pon no ba gbo no po ta na ba gbe mi awon to gbe ni o mi awon ni mama ni ku to me ne fa na mi na gbogbo mi ne fa na ni che ma no lo Yes, we are now set for your question and answer. So we are here. So what do you call it? Please come in with your questions and answers. We are ready for you. But before we start answering your questions, I want to bring everybody's attention to what discussion that have been going on the Revolution platform about ancestors and voodoo. There was recently we had one of our brothers, Dynast Amir, who came to pass through the shrine, African Magick Temple. In fact, he came very quite late, and he didn't have enough time to really stay and go through how we do our things. But then, since he requested to meet me, yes, he met me briefly for about 15, maximum about 20 minutes. We had a short distance. I showed him around, and he posted a question of whether white people should be allowed to participate in voodoo or Afa or this, but it's mainly voodoo. And I told him, yes, it is true that they should participate because voodoo is not limited to African people only. Even though the Africans call their spiritual practice, or the Aves in particular, call their spiritual practice voodoo, because the word voodoo means spirit. So in our language, anything spirit is called voodoo. So every culture, every people around the world have voodoo. And if for us to teach them how to use their own spirits that their ancestors had used, there's nothing wrong in that. See, there are certain people who are practitioners of voodoo, and a lot more of people who are admirers of voodoo or traditional African practice. But then, if you ask most traditional practitioners, they will tell you, yes, it is a universal thing, and everybody has the right to practice. But when you are asking people who are admirers, who are not real practitioners, people who only read, who did not really get involved, they will tell you that no, other people shouldn't practice it. It is our thing, and we should not give it to them. Can anybody mention one single item that came from voodoo that the white man has used against the African? I want you people to come with those things so that I can hear, I can listen. Then I know that, oh, this was a voodoo practice. Then the white man took it and is using it against the black man. I tried to think about it, but I haven't really seen what came out of voodoo that the white man has taken away from the black man and it's using it against the black man, which is to say that our ancestors taught them that spiritual thing, and then now today they are using it against us. I don't know. So if you people who are watching me around the world, tell me what if you know any one single thing that was from our traditional spirituality that our ancestors by mistake were deceived, and then the white man took that away from them and is using it against the black man today. Selassie, you are here. Do you know anything?
I've not really heard about anything like that before.
No, but a lot of time people say the white man has taken the black man's spiritual things and is using it against them, so we shouldn't teach them. Or the white man has taken the black man's knowledge and is using. I want people to tell me what exactly the white man took from the black man, apart from our natural resources, which is we don't even have the money to dig the gold deeper. That's why they were able to do that. So I want to know.
I heard rumors. I heard rumors that most of these tech companies and then people that are doing so well in science in terms of making great scientific artifacts got those ideas, or they started that as a result of taking some of our people from here that were very spiritually inclined, and they are using those. But it's just
they took the people away,
the
and
people
then the people
which,
taught them.
yes, that is
Like
what it's a rumor. Like as in terms of them coming up with mobile phones and then
Mobile phone was
technology
taught by
and all those
mobile
things.
phone was okay.
It's a rumor. It's a rumor that I heard about.
Then
that,
why
but then
if the people know that why is that the black man did not create the
Do
mobile
it,
phone
yeah.
until now?
yeah,
If we want to talk about it, why the black man has not created his own kind of mobile phone?
yeah. So it's just a rumor, and I've never heard that there's some sort of spirituality that has been given or taught to white people that they now use against us.
But everybody
I've
is saying
not heard.
generally that we shouldn't teach them because they have stolen our thing and they are using it, against the black man. But I personally am trying to understand and know what exactly that the white man took from African traditional spirituality that is using it against the black man, which the most our people in the diaspora are saying that for this reason they shouldn't be taught. Okay, so I want people, I want everybody out there to look into things, and then we all learn about this. Okay, so please come up with those questions, and then let's come. And as I was saying, the voodoo is different from ancestors. We don't call voodoos ancestors. And a lot of people, even here in Africa, make that mistake by calling the voodoo an ancestor. Voodoo is not your ancestor. Voodoo is a nature spirit. Spirits that are in nature, created in nature. They are not limited by time, space, or people. They are everywhere. They can be everywhere. That's why we can send a voodoo from here in Ghana to send it to America, to Russia, to China, to Japan, and the voodoo can go there and go and work and come back, because voodoo is not limited in space or time zone or by people. So voodoo is not an ancestor. People should be very clear about this. And a lot of people who do not understand what the voodoo practice is, or what we call voodoo in Ebe, make so much mistake by saying that everything that they say they are ancestors. Legba is not your ancestor. There are things that your ancestors use to achieve their spiritual development or goals. But the voodoo or Legba or Afa and all these things are not your ancestors. Your ancestors are people whose blood you share. The blood lineage from which you are coming. People who died when you are here, but your family, your fathers, your grandfathers, your aunties, people who came from your blood lineage are called ancestors. Voodoo is not an ancestor. Voodoo is a voodoo. It's not your ancestor. So stop making that mistake by saying that the voodoo is our ancestor. Voodoo is not your ancestor. He didn't give birth to you. So it's not your ancestor. People who gave birth to you, whose blood you are sharing, whose DNA is running in your system, are called ancestors. There is nothing more than that. So when we are talking about ancestral practices and all these things, we are talking about what our ancestors had practiced. But then, what they had practiced is not our ancestors. This should be very clear. And people should stop telling us that the white man is not supposed to come and learn or learn our become an ancestor, or I don't even know how to put the question, that the white man shouldn't learn about our ancestors. No white man can make my ancestors his own ancestor, because I don't share any blood lineage with any white person. So why should my ancestor become their ancestors? And how can they be accepted into my ancestral home? Even if they are accepted into my ancestral home, it is either they are coming to ask for help, to pray for them. We cannot give our ancestral, what will I call it? What my ancestors have, like my family's tool. We don't give it to white people. We cannot make a white man to become a chief on our family's tool. It is only people from my grandfather's blood lineage are the people who can become chiefs or the custodians of my ancestral tool. Voodoos are everywhere in the world. They are in China, they are in India, in America, among the Native Americans, in Australia, among the white people, around the Celts. Everybody in every culture has a voodoo. If they don't call it voodoo, does not mean that it is not voodoo. Voodoo means spirit. Any question coming?
Yes.
Yes.
The few words of encouragement from your fans, the Rhodesian fans. Afrikan says greetings.
Yes, hello Africans, how are you?
Monica Kova says good morning.
Monica, good morning, good afternoon, how are you?
And blessings to you and your family. Greetings from New York.
Thank you very much, Monica. Thank you.
Deborah Allen, greetings from Zim, MN, Minnesota.
Okay, thank you, Deborah. Welcome to Facebook Live on Revolution.
Bilibo Augustine Kosi,
Yeah, Bilibo, how are you?
greetings from Accra.
Yes, yes.
Ifada, greetings, Papa and family. Happy
Yes,
New Year.
how,
Happy
my brother,
New
how?
December. So,
Yeah, we are now in the new month. Let's hope that it brings the good tidings for all of us. This is December, this is Christmas month. The year is ending according to the Western calendar. So we have to be praying because everything economically is based on this calendar. So we should also align ourselves alongside it. We can't live without it. Yes, yes.
he's watching from Augusta, Georgia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Yes.
Sir Majesty Adotui II. Why do we need to wash animals' legs and head before sacrificing them?
Very good question. What's the name again?
Sir Majesty Adotui.
Sir Majesty
Adotui II.
Adotui II. From where?
He didn't write where he's watching.
Okay, Sir Majesty Adotui II. Yes, we wash animals' legs before sacrifice because we believe that they have picked a lot of dirt while they are on their own walking and eating everywhere. And if we are going to present them to the gods or to any sacrifice, we need to cleanse, just like we cleanse ourselves even before we do any rituals. We also cleanse the animals so that they can be clean before we give it to the ancestors or we give it to the voodoo.
They're still sending in their questions, so they should remember to. Our fans should.
Okay, everybody should remember when you are sending your question, let us know where you are sending the questions from. It will help all of us. We want to know where you are communicating from, and also please try to share this information. We are just in the beginning. Share it on your platforms and let your friends join in and let people ask questions, because to many people voodoo practice is new and old. When I say new, is they have heard about it, they have seen it, but they have not really got the inside knowledge of what voodoo is. So it is new to them, but it is also old to them because the knowledge had always been there that there is something called voodoo and it's African. People say it is evil, people say it is good, people say all this thing. But what I have been sharing from African Magic Temple or Revolution platform is to demystify that fear and that misunderstanding that is around voodoo, just like what I started. People don't know the difference between a voodoo and an ancestor. A lot of time people just combine them, and a lot of people who do not practice are the ones who are the loudest. When you are practicing something, you know what you are doing. But if you are just writing about it and talking about it without practicing, you don't know it. This is the truth.
I found this for you.
At African Magic Temple or Revolution, we are practitioners. We have our shrine and we are working every day for people. We are practitioners. So we know what we are doing. Not people who just read from books or discuss the topic on platforms. You must be a practitioner. They say the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. The sweetness of the pudding is in the eating, or the tasting of the pudding is in the eating. Because if you don't taste it, how do you know it is tasty or it is not tasty? So until people who write about voodoo or talk about African traditional spirituality, they themselves are practitioners, then they can talk better about what they experience. They should not be outsiders and be talking about the inside things. If you really want to know what voodoo is, be part of it. Practice it, or let them do a voodoo ritual for you. and then you will know or you will understand how voodoo works. But without those things, and you only talk and you talk and talk and say things.
Senna Voncujovi, what is the, he's watching from Japan.
Yeah, Senna, yes.
What is the significance of wearing a hat in voodoo practice, if there is any?
Oh, the significance of wearing a hat in a voodoo practice sometimes depends on the ceremony or the ritual or the event. It is not a compulsory thing in voodoo to wear a hat. But there are certain voodoos when you are initiated into them or you are placed on a platform, a particular platform, or to be in charge of certain voodoo, then you can wear a hat. That's why in Ebe we call a hat kuku. Kuku. So there are certain people in some villages or in some communities, they call them kukuto. Means he is in charge of a particular voodoo. That voodoo, before you go to the voodoo or before you pray to that voodoo, you must wear your hat. So they call them kukuto. So they are. It is also a kind of a platform or a stage or initiation, a leadership position. Then people wear hat, and I think in Cuba, I think in Cuba and some Yoruba also, there are some Afa people. I think it's also necessary for them to wear kuku or hat. But in every Afa, it is not a requirement that you should wear a hat. It is not required in every Afa to wear hat, because that's why you see a lot of voodoo priests do not wear voodoo and Afa priests in Ebe land do not wear hats unless they are having a ceremony, because it is also a sign of respect to God and to the spirit you are working with, so that you dress up nicely when you are doing like end of year ceremony. You dress up because it's a festival, because you have bathed the voodoos and you are giving them new herbs and all kind of things, and you dress up, and then you too, you dress yourself up so that the voodoos will feel that it is not like an ordinary day. But apart from that, I don't have so much knowledge. I know that one of Togbe Tuji's brothers called Zicho, the strong Zicho, means he's the one who carried the seat of the throne. The throne of Zicho, so his name is Zicho. The Z is stool, and the person who carried it is called Zichola, but then they shorten it as Zicho. So his other name is Kukuto, because when he was made Zicho, automatically they place a hat on his head before he carried the stool. So he is called Kukuto. So that's how far I know about that.
Angel Zion, if one is initiated into a tradition that is not one they are destined for, can this cause problem in the person's life? Would their ancestors even allow this initiation that you don't support? I'm in the Bahamas.
Angel, the point is that the ancestors do not have any problem when you are trying to get initiated into anything, because the ancestors, it is not their duty that you should be initiated into that. It is the voodoo which you are being initiated into is the one that, whether it accepts you or does not or do not accept you. If the voodoo accepts you, then it is okay. If the voodoo does not accept you, it has nothing to do with ancestors. This is what I'm trying to explain. The ancestors has nothing to do with whatever voodoo you want to be initiated into. And there is no way they can initiate you into the ancestors. There is no initiation into ancestors. Initiation is only into voodoo or to Afa. That's all. Ancestors, you can never be initiated into ancestors. Because your ancestors are ancestors. They are already inside of you. They are running, your blood is running in you, their DNA is running in you. So there is no, you don't need any initiation into ancestors. The only thing they can do for you, if your ancestors have a family stool and they wanted somebody to be the chief or somebody to be the head of family, somebody to be in charge of the family. Then that is when they would pick one person out of the whole family and introduce that person to the ancestors by doing the rituals that make a chief. Like saying that, okay, this is the person we have selected to be in our on the stool or sit as a chief upon a particular stool. And that is an individual initiation, and they cannot do it to anybody than only one single person. And that person is called the chief of the clan or the chief of the community. And the chief does not have all the power. The people who are the king makers or the chief makers are the ones who hold the power. So he is just placed there as a figure representation of the ancestral stool. That's why whenever a person is initiated or a person becomes a chief, the name of the stool is given to the chief. So they call the chief by the name of the stool. Either the first, the second, or the third or fourth. Let's take the Asantehene, for instance. When he has been selected to become the chief of the Ashantis, they did all the ritual, and when he came out from the rituals, he was called Nana Osei Tutu the second, because the stool that he chose during his initiation into the chieftaincy was the Osei Tutu stool. So that was a stool that the Osei Tutu, who was the first one, had sat on or chosen, or he was on that one, and then he became the second by choosing that one. So he is called Osei Tutu the second. If in the future they are going to make another Ashanti chief at the demise of this one, which is, I hope, pray that it won't be now, when he becomes very old and he has done his duty as a chief and he is going into the ancestral world, if he decide he is gone and they want to select another chief, they will look among all the people and select one person, and then they'll start the rituals. And if that person also went and sat on the Osei Tutu stool again, then that person will be called the Osei Tutu the third. So in our Ebe Voodoo or in African traditional spirituality, the ancestors do not tell you what Voodoo you should be initiated into, or the ancestor will not be happy that you are initiated into this Voodoo. If the Voodoo that you are being initiated into accepts you, yes, then you have your way and you can work with it. Ancestors will not get angry that why did you get initiated into this Voodoo? Because if you get initiated into a wrong Voodoo, the Voodoo will worry you. It's not the duty of the ancestors. So, Angel, that is my point. But if it is not clear, you can still come up with another question and I will elaborate again.
Agbekopat.
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 Okay.
I am late today.
From where? Where is the person? Please try to let us know where you are joining us from so that I can address you properly. Because if I don't know where you are joining us from, I cannot address you properly.
Shamba Musa Muhammad.
Hello.
Sorry.
Hello, my brother Musa. How are you? Yeah, thank you very much for everything. I've been listening to your music and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you very much for sending me all those videos. Very beautiful. You are a real master drama. I really admire your drama. Thank you.
Greetings from Ohio. What is the white powder used for? I have seen people wrap the powder on their bodies during certain ceremonies.
Okay. we don't do it here anyway. We don't do those things here at African Magic Temple. But then in some shrines, okay, you may see some in our videos, yes. When we went to the shrine at the village, yes, the Vodus have perfumes. There are certain Vodus that when they set them up, they have perfume, they have powders, and they have all kind of smelling beautiful oils and all this in their this. And when that voodoo comes upon a person during a ritual, the person is moved into the voodoo's room. Nobody physically moved, but the spirit itself moves the person into its shrine, and the person starts to pour all that powder and perfume and smear their body. Means the voodoo has possessed that particular person and start acting through the human being. So you will see that people put powder and all the thing. And then I have seen many people in other parts. Some people paint only one eye. I don't know about that. That is mostly in Nigeria. Somebody make one circle around one eye. I don't know what it means, because in our Ebe culture, it's not very common where somebody will just make a circle around one eye. But then you see people smearing. It is when people get possessed with the energy of a voodoo. They lose control of themselves, and the voodoo takes over, and the voodoo does whatever it wants to do through them, and sometimes also prophesies through them.
This is Leslie Omar from Singapore.
Yeah, Leslie, how are you?
Greetings.
Thank you for joining us again. I believe you are around 8 o'clock there in Singapore now, or 8 p.m. or something. I'm not sure, but how is Singapore?
It says, greetings, Daddy.
Thank you very much, Leslie.
If you are given a personal voodoo, can you use it to help others, or use it for yourself only?
Okay, that's a very beautiful question from Leslie in Singapore, or from Singapore. Yes, when you get a voodoo, it is for the voodoo to help you. And when you are able to get help from the voodoo, and you see how the voodoo works for you, and it is effective, yes, you can use it to help other people who you feel that they are dear and close to you. Voodoo is everybody's personal thing, but when you see the benefits of the voodoo, and you feel that other people also need help, you can. It is because there is a saying in our language, every language, that a tron didi americano ponero, a tron didi america me ponero, which literally translates that any voodoo that is very powerful and works, it's not for one person. It is for the community. It is for the whole world. Because if the voodoo is working, then it is the whole world that will come and judge it by asking it to do things for them. And when it starts doing things, then the world will hear about it. So, so voodoo, when it is powerful, it is not left in one corner alone. The world must know about it. People around you must know about it. And when they say they know about it, it's not only that they come and look at it as a tourist. They come to the voodoo and seek the voodoo's assistance. And then, if the voodoo works for them, they will tell other people. That's how a real voodoo works. It must go from mouth to ear to ear to mouth. It goes on. It spreads. Yeah, that's how a real voodoo is. It must go on. So if you get a voodoo that is working for you, and it is really working for you, you can use it to help others.
Patricia Fiasarewa is watching.
Yeah, Ifya, thank you. Good afternoon. How are you today? Hope you are fine.
Adbeko Pat says, greetings to the family.
Yes, Adbeko, thank you very much. I kept asking, where are you watching us from? Please, everybody share this one on your platforms and let other people join in.
Kwabna Apnefaheru Anand says, greetings from New York.
Yes, thank you very much, Kwabna. How are you? I hope you are fine. How is New York? New York. Very busy city.
Varia Maya says, hello from Ohio, US.
Okay, Varia, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
My question is, what do you tell a child of 13 years old who wants to speak to his ancestors? He already has his own ancestral altar that he made on his own and pours libation.
Yeah, that's a good thing, because there's no age limit for ancestral acknowledgement or worship, let's call it that way. If a 13-year-old child wants to talk to his ancestors. Yeah, the only way we talk to our ancestors is through libation, pouring libation to them. And if he or she has that interest to begin acknowledging the ancestors and try to follow the path of the ancestors, then it is the duty of people who are the guardians or parents to lead that child to a proper diviner, to find out what kind of child is this child, who is coming back, who is here, and why does he have the interest of the ancestors at this early age, while people of his or her age are busy dancing, disco dancing or break dancing or doing swag and all this thing, but that child has the interest of ancestors. It will be very nice for the guardians, parents, and caretakers of that child to find out through divination who that child is and be able to help the child to be on the path properly. Because this path is a very, very good path, and at the same time, it's dangerous. Dangerous in the sense that if you don't know what you are doing, anything, the spirit world is a very vague and a large and a vast space. There are billions of spirits who are trying to find manifestations or looking for opportunities to express themselves. So when you are not guided properly, you may be following the wrong, or not necessarily following the wrong, but you may be doing things and the wrong energies who may not have the same vibration with you may come in, and when they come in, they can disturb you. So it is good to go to a proper diviner to do divination and find out what type of a person has come back into this world, and then they should guide that child properly. That's my advice.
Menu Kantanka Edward. Hello, Toby.
Hello, Edward. How are you?
Please, I am Edward from Tema.
Yes, Edward. How are you?
I want to be a member of your temple to know more about myself and to also protect my family and make my work to flourish. How do I join?
Okay, Edward, the truth is that we don't have a membership as the word membership in our African Magick Temple or Revolution. What we do is on the Revolution platform, they have a Facebook page where people can contact and ask questions and do many other things. They also have a WhatsApp group that you can ask questions every day or every time that you have some questions to ask. But then in general at African Magick Temple, people who want to know something about themselves, as you are saying, who has businesses or anything that is disturbing their life and they want to find a solution to them, will contact us on our WhatsApp number 0244 36 75 78, and then ask us, and we give them the direction what things to bring for a divination and consultation. When you come for a divination and consultation, we have certain items that we will ask you to bring. When you come, the diviner will get in touch with the oracle, and then whatever the oracle gives us as a direction, we will give you, and then we'll let you follow that. And the things that are happening in your life will probably go away. So then once such is done, and anytime you want to come to the shrine to ask questions or do anything or seek for assistance, we are here. But it is not like a membership. The people who we will regard as members of the shrine are the people who come to be initiated, to become students, to learn about the tradition. Then those we will consider them as members. But then, you know, spirituality is not a religion where you have to form a group or form membership. It's an individual thing. unlike religion where you always have to be in a group before calling God, spirituality stresses on you as an individual, you and your God. There should be no intermediary. If there is any intermediary between you and God, then it is the spirit that can take your message. The spirit that will take your message between yourself and your God. But during initiation, those will be introduced into you, so you and your God become one person to be able to communicate and do a lot of things. When it is too much for you to handle, or it is too much higher than what you can handle, then your priest or your teacher and other people can come in and assist you to overcome whatever the challenges are. Is the sound good today? If the sound is good, please let me know.
Divine Izet from Louisiana says good morning.
Good morning, Divine. How are you?
Can you talk about the other water spirits of Voodoo? We hear a lot about Mame water, but there are others. Is that correct?
Yes, there are so many water spirits, but I cannot talk about all water spirits because I'm not in touch with all water spirits. I don't know about all water spirits. The water spirits that I work with are with me. There are so many different ones. Even if I call their names, not many people will know them. Because I have a Chivin, I have a Pablivi, I have a Muse, I have a Praku Adase, I have a Tobe Glindo, and I have what is this one? Penjeke. Tronkosi Penjeke. I have Muse, I call it Muse already. I have some few. Akai is a water spirit, but it's not like in water. Yeah, but some people set it in water, but my Akai is not in water. But Akai is also a water spirit. So yes, so there are so many different water spirits. And then is a Aprakwa Dase. So there are so many. So people call Mamirata, but honestly speaking, I have never come across Mamirata before. But I have come across a lot of people, priests, who say they are Mamirata priestess, and all kind of names. Yes, that's their field. I'm not a Mamirata priestess, and I don't have a Mamirata. But then I pray and I call Mamirata sometimes in my prayers because they are just spirits that are in the universe. And until I see a real Mamirata working, for now, I have many water spirits, but I don't have a Mamirata. And if people choose to call any water spirit Mamirata, that's up to them, but I don't call them.
Senna says dancing, disco dancing, in reference to the question that was asked about the child.
Yeah, a lot of children of that age are trying to dance, break dancing, swag, ansonto, disco dancing, and all these things. So when a child of that age has interest in ancestors or in traditional spirituality, the parents have to encourage that child.
Patricia Mo, if you says, Papa, please, how far with the oil?
The oil is ready. We will start selling from today. So the oil is ready. We have decided it's not the only. We cannot sell the oil alone because we are selling it as a package. The oil, the soap, that is the aura enhancing soap, and then the fumigation or adjo. We are selling it as a package because I was trying to see how the oil will work. So I gave it to someone to try the oil alone. Got to a point, the person came to, he's been doing it for about a week, but he's not seeing any real changes. So I asked the person to come and get some herbs to cleanse himself After cleansing himself, he said everything started working. So by sending the oil alone out to people or giving it to people, I don't know how it will work on people. And to send it separately, so if someone will say, oh, I got the oil or I bought the oil, but I'm not seeing any changes. So we decided to sell the package whereby you have the soap which will cleanse you and enhance your aura. And then the fumigation, which is also a cleansing to also enhance your aura. And then the oil, when you use the oil after bathing, you fumigate yourself, and then you use the oil. Then we are sure that listen. I personally am using it for the past 2 weeks, and I did about 3 weeks now, and I have seen the changes that is happening. I mean, tremendous changes I am seeing. So the package is going out for 120. It's going out the whole package: soap, Akai oil, and fumigation is going out for $120 and its equivalency in cedis. We will send it to you, but then those who are far away, where we have to post it, then we will charge you for the postage as well. That's what it is. The postage, if we are going to post it, we will add postage to it, but the retail basic price is $120 for the oil. It's ready to go. The oil, the soap, and the fumigation is ready to go. We have us at the moment about 21 pieces. So once people who are interested, whether they come here to buy directly or they send us money, and then we can send it to them. We are also thinking of sending it in bulk, about maybe 10 pieces or 15 pieces to someone in the US, so that when people in the US send us money, we will let that person ship it to them. But we haven't actually sent it out. But from today, 1st December, prices are out. It's $120 for the package of 3 Akai oil, aura enhancing soap, and the fumigation.
Darius Woods.
Hello, Darius. How are you?
Greetings from Indianapolis.
Thank you very much for joining us, Darius.
Ifa Odu says excellent. Cardi Fisher says yes, Papa. The sound is excellent.
Okay, thank you. Because last week people complained about the sound, so today we moved back into the office. So, thank you.
Ifa Odu says Lache, I'm ready for my order now.
Okay, thank you, Ifa Odu. Thank you very much. Yeah.
They should keep on sending their questions.
Please keep on sending the questions. And today we are not on YouTube because they said, what did they say?
No,
they say we are not eligible because our number of people, we are not eligible. But they told us when we have 1,000 people, then we can transmit. And we have got 1,000 subscribers already. But then today we came and we are saying that they say we are not eligible. We don't know what is the next thing to do to be eligible. So we are not on YouTube today. But then we'll do our best to get on YouTube as soon as possible.
Cardi Fisher says, I'm ready for my order. How do I place my order? What is the posting for the US?
The posting to the US is what we are thinking is if maybe you have to send it in a bulk to the US, and then someone will distribute it. So because we don't know whether we can send it individually. We can. It's not that we cannot. We can send it individually from Ghana, but that will be shipping will be at the cost of the person, and we don't know what is the price or the charges or the cost of shipping. Maybe about $10. UPS. I think we have UPS also in Ghana,
Yes.
which is American. Listen, whether they will be able to take it in a package and bring to you, we don't know yet, but we will find a solution to it from tomorrow Monday at the post office and the UPS to see how much they will charge for this. But the method of payment is transfer the money to us, and then we will post it to you.
We don't have any questions, but I believe we are prepared to
Yes, ask question.
I have a question.
Yes.
I recently learned that it's not advisable to place food or water on chairs where you sit. Can you please throw some light into that?
Okay. Make that thing, bring that thing well so we can see that from the video. Yes, so let's say your question is a good question. We say that voodoo is not a religion.
Yeah.
And voodoo is a way of life of the Aves.
Yes.
What it means is that what it means is that the Aves, whatever they do in their life, our eating, our songs, the way we go to farm, whatever we do, our everything is like a voodoo. We believe in spirits, we work with spirits, and spirits are part of our life, our daily life. So we say voodoo is not a religion but a way of life. I am not the one defining voodoo to be a way of life. So in every culture, sit like a chair on which people sit is for sitting. And different people sit on that same chair. One person is just like sitting in a taxi, yellow taxi, and somebody drop and somebody comes. And what do you call it? You sit on a chair, so you don't put food on chair before eating. We eat on table or we eat on the ground. We can sit down on the ground and place a plate on the ground and eat. But you don't put your food or your drink, alcoholic drink or water on a chair before taking it to drink. I have seen many times people have a bench and they place the bench, put the food on the this, and then they put their legs around it and then they are eating. In our culture, every culture, if you do such things, there is a spirit called Alorkpli. I want everybody who is listening. There's a spirit called Alorkpli. The Northerners call it Ajim. Some areas from my area, central areas called Ajim, which is when you share a lady or you share a man, if you're a woman and you share the same man with a friend, knowingly or unknowingly. When you are doing and all this thing, that spirit can join in and then attack you. So when you get sick and your friend who had shared the same woman or man with you visits you, what happens is that you who is sick, if you are not careful, you will die. And how do we know this spirit that it's active? When a person is sick and people visited the person, what happens that after they are gone, or maybe even in their presence, the person gets hiccup. And then that is the spirit has come, and then you go through that and die. So that's why in the Ewe culture, it is advisable that people should not be eating on chairs. And also we are not allowed to be whistling at night. because when it is believed that when you are whistling at night, it attracts the spirits of the dwarfs. Because in our culture, dwarfs don't speak the whistle. So when you are whistling, it may attract them that maybe some of their people are there and they will visit you. So there are so many little things that is part of voodoo culture. So it is not, it's a way of life. Voodoo is a way of life. It is not what do you call it? Religion. So our everything is like that. Taking bath at night at certain time, you are not supposed to bath at certain time of the night, because it is believed that between those hours certain spirits are passing by, and when they look at you, it can bring sickness, can bring certain things to you. But a lot of people are taking all these things for granted for today, and when they go to the hospital, or they even decide to share one woman, and then everybody do whatever they do, and then when they are sick, they all come and then drink together, they eat together, and people start dying, and nobody even know why they are dying. So it was just okay now, and they all say, oh, he's in the hospital, he got hiccup, and before you know, bye, it's gone. So that is the spirit of Alorkpli. So for that reason, we advise our young people and people who are with us not to be placing food or drink on a chair before eating or drinking.
Thank you.
But also we have antidote.
Okay.
Which when you are a father and your children are growing to a certain age, you must do that for them to prevent them, because they are young people, and they may be tempted to share women knowingly or unknowingly. They may all have interest in one woman and or in the same man, and then probably they had sex without knowing that this person had shared this man with this other woman, or this woman had shared the same man with another. So all this we have the antidote that I usually do for my children when they get to the age of 15, 16. I do for all my boys, and then also for the girls, so that if such things happen, they will not be affected, because I have already guard them against that spirit. Because recently, not too long ago, a friend was seriously sick, and it was at the what do they call it? The Kolebu, Ghana's biggest teaching hospital, and they did a heart operation on him, and he was in the cardiothoracic center. Yeah, that's what they call that place. And then all of a sudden, there's a hiccup that came in. He was responding to treatment, and all of a sudden, hiccup came in, and it became like he could not have enough breath. So they informed me. Then immediately they told me that the hiccup jumped into it. Then I told them this is Alorkpli, because I've had experiences with so many people. So I took my medicine, my blood powder, and I went straight to the hospital. And they were not allowing people to go, but he's a big man, so they told them that I was coming to see him. So when I went there, I gave the medicine to him. Within the next 3 minutes, the hiccup stopped. Then I came back home. 2 days later, the hiccup came back again. Then I said no. Because first I asked them, who are the people visiting him? They said nobody. They don't allow anybody to visit him. And the only person that was visiting him was his tribe and his own brothers. And then even that time, the brothers were not coming. The brothers were supposed to come. And I said no. There must be either he had shared the same woman with the driver, or the driver had an access to his girlfriend or something, so that the driver shouldn't be allowed to go. So I went back, and then I They gave him the thing again, and it became okay. And then from there, I called the family, some of the family people who asked me, and then I asked them, what do they know with the driver and the man? Because if the driver is the only person who has access to him, then there is a possibility that they have shared the same woman. And if we are not very careful, our brother will die. Then they told me that, oh, it is true that the driver had slept with one of his wives. And that became a big problem between him and the driver and the wife. And I think there was a separation, and then later the woman died. And then this driver still is the one driving him. And I said, no. So there is a problem. So they cannot allow the driver to. And then we cut the driver off, not to drive him, not to send anything to him. When he gets strong, he can. And so I let them bring him from the hospital. They brought him here. He was not himself. The man was almost gone. He can be talking and all this, but he wasn't himself. So they brought him into the shrine. We worked on him overnight. Then the following day, when he woke up, he was asking, where is he? Where am I? He said, hey, what am I doing here? He said, you are in my shrine, you are in my house. He said, Vaughn, when did you bring me to your house? I mean, I said, someone I know very well. So I said, no, we came to the hospital to bring you. He said, yeah. Then that was when his face became clear. So then later we sent him back to the hospital, but we didn't allow that same driver to drive him, and then they sent him, and now he's okay. So this Alorkpli is a very, very powerful spirit, which a lot of people don't know about. But the Eves and also the Northerners in Ghana are very much aware of this, so we guard against it. So the question that you asked, this is the reason why we don't place food and drinks, because everybody is sitting down on that chair and everybody has a spirit. We are not only physical beings, but we are also psychic beings. So each person's energy is left here and we all mingle. So when you put your food here, that means you are mixing your energy and the energy of other people together before you are eating. So you open yourself to attack easily.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know whether you have watched chickens before.
Yeah.
The male chicken. If there are two male chickens in the house or in a place, the one that is the alpha male would not want any other male to cross the other female chickens. Anytime it sees them, it will rush there and then try to fight them off. It is a spiritual thing, because it is telling the other people, I don't want all of you to come back into this life. It should be me alone. Do you understand? Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
That he only wants to his continuity should be other people, his generation should continue and others shouldn't. That's why it does that. So it is with human beings also. When a particular person's sperm and another person's sperm meets, they fight on the psychic plane. They don't want another one. The one of them doesn't want the other one to be, and it will create death on the physical plane. This is a very deep voodoo secret, and they use it to kill people too in voodoo. Because since you open yourself to that thing, and if someone wants to attack you with witchcraft, especially witches, they will use that spirit of Alorkpli to jump into your sickness, and then you would
have access to.
They get access to. Voodoo is a very deep thing. So guarding yourself against all those little things is what helps us.
If Adara says, please spell the spirit Alorkpli.
Alorkpli, I should spell it.
Yes.
It's Alorkpli. Alorkpli. But then in my every dialect we call it Ajinu. A-D-Z-I-N-U. Ajinu. That is how it is called in my every dialect. But then from the southern areas, the coastal areas, they call it Alorkpli. And the northern Ghana people, I don't know whether the Dagomba or this, they call it Ajimu. Instead of the NU and the Ajinu, they say Ajim. Ajim. It's a very, very important thing. And if you ever have a chance to come to Africa, let me give you the antidote. It's something I do. I do very well. I know how to counteract it if it happens, and also how to stop it before it happens to young people. It kills a lot of people, but a lot of people don't know. So, I mean, you need to be strong to know a lot of things.
Francis Kofi has a suggestion. He says, or he suggests that the best way is to get someone coming to the US regarding the oil.
Yes, I was thinking, Francis. Yes, I was thinking like that. If the person only is willing to take the items, if I have someone coming into the US and I can trust the person and give the items to the person that does it, because I have made a mistake. I was in the US recently. I have left some of my spiritual things with one guy called Koblabi Delali, who I thought was a brother or a son, and he promised to send me money because we had discussed, and he told me, oh, he will buy that item because it's a memory enhancing powder that I usually make, and I prepare it. I bought it. I prepared it, and it was quite expensive. I sent it into America with the mind that I will meet some students that may want it, but the time that we spent in the US wasn't long enough. So I was leaving the US, so I decided, I told Koblavi about it, and he had interest because he's doing drumming and also kind of a therapy for children who could not sleep, and he told me that all these things. So I said, oh, this could help their minds to calm their minds down. So that because when someone is having a mental problem, that means there's imbalance in the mind, either stress or whatever. So I left it with him, and he promised that when I get back home in June, yes, we got him back home in June, that he will send me the money. I spoke with him a few times, and so he will send it to me later. And until today, Koblabi Delali has decided not to even pick my calls or answer any of my text messages. Meanwhile, what I have brought there, I have spent money to prepare them. So that's why for me to give my things to people now, if I can't trust them, because I really trusted him because he was very helpful to me when I was in Vermont during my son Pele's graduation. He took us here and there. He did everything. So I just put my trust in him, but then he disappointed me at the end of it. So yes, Francis, it is good to give it to somebody to bring it to the US, and then from there they can mail it. Or if I can mail them as a package to the US, then from there, those of you who are in the US, it can be distributed to you. When you place the order, I just have to let the people know, and then they send it to you. I believe in the US you can send postpaid. Postpaid means maybe when it gets to you, you pay before collecting. I don't know, but yeah. So that then the person does not need to pay the shipping, or you don't need to send the shipping charges to the person. You just let the person send it to you. When you get to you, the post office will charge or collect the money, and then give it to you. But then I will check with UPS also from tomorrow. I'll go to their office and ask them. But the best is to package and send it to them. And then who to trust? My children are no more in the US. They are all in Japan now, and I don't know what to do. Okay.
You were was asking what our courier service.
And the courier cannot take it to the US. They can, but then we have to ask the shipping. It can. AGL, yes, yeah, AGL. Other courier services can do it. DHL and all these things are there. Yeah, but then it will be expensive. But that's it. We'll find a way to it. Will get to you. So, those of you who are ready, you can place your order. You don't need to send money to us now. Just place your order. We know who is asking. Facebook platform Revolution has created another Facebook platform for you people to share ideas. Go onto that platform and then place your order. And what is the name?
Revolution.
Kesena should type that. Senator Voncujovi should type that Facebook this in and let people know what it is, and people can place order. And then when we know how many people are in the US that are placing order, then we will know what to do by sending it in a bulk to maybe to someone who can distribute it. But we must find someone who we can trust.
Ifa, the brother's question leads me to ask this question. One should not share sex with a married partner. In certain cultures, men have two wives. Please explain.
Yes, when you call a woman your wife, the two women are sharing you, the man, as a husband. But then it is also advisable that these two women do not put their hands into the same bowl to eat. And in every culture, what happens is that when one of the women is sick, the other woman is not supposed to go and attend to her. And also, when one of them dies, the other woman does not attend to it is very common in every listen. Rivals do not attend each other at the other person who passed on's funeral. And if they happen to be living in the same house, what happens is when the one dies, one of the women die, the other woman who is alive will be locked in a room. She won't come to the funeral. She will not show her face until this person is buried and rituals done. It is even until today they are doing. Even if you are Christian or you are Muslim and you are Ebe and you are married, that's how it is.
Kadi Fisher was talking about the delivery. He says it's cash on delivery.
Okay. Yes, so we post it cash on delivery, and then when it gets to the person just pay the postage and then take it. Yeah.
It's the father says that they are very expensive.
The cash on delivery.
Yes.
Me, I don't live there, so I don't know. But whichever way, we will find a way to get it to you so that it will not be too expensive. Yes, we will find a way to. It's because we decided the oil shouldn't be so expensive. I mean, the package shouldn't be expensive so that everybody can buy it. You start using it before Christmas, and then we see how your new year will be. Yes, I guarantee you that there will be a big change in a lot of things you do.
Yes, Kwas, Peter. Bokor, if someone is wrongly dismissed from work, can you help get the person's work back?
Yes, it depends. If you are dismissed from your work, the people who are dismissing you have a reason, and then you also have your understanding why you've been dismissed, and they too they have the reason why they dismiss you. So when you want to find out why you have been dismissed and whether you can still get your job back, we will need to do a divination and find out if you can still get your job back. If the oracle says this, that yes, you can get your job back, then the oracle will teach us the rituals that we will do to get your job back. Yes, sometimes you may get it back very immediately. Sometimes it may take time. Then all depends on the spirit world and also the people who are supposed to give the job back to you. So, yes, we can.
Okay. So, Patricia Mo, if you says, wow, things they small things they kill us. Papa, thank you. And brother, thank you for asking the question.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I have to do that for you. So please, when you have time, come, let's talk about it so that I can prepare the black powder for you, because you never know what goes around you.
Adam Kwashi says, let's talk about the items. He's from New York.
Adam, yes, the items are you is all that we are discussing. How to get it from here to the US. I am not going to the US now, and I don't have anyone who is going to the US. And if I do have someone going to the US, it's just a small package. It will go. We can, and if the person is willing, I believe Baba Craig in Puerto Rico is watching us, because I prepared that one, and I think it was Senna and Pele. They took it to him physically to Puerto Rico, and he used it, and I think he saw the benefits or the changes in the job, especially the fumigation and the soap. And I think the soap, Baba Craig gave part of the soap to some of his students, and when they were going to the airport, people at the customs and in the US were looking inside the soap to see, because there were some herbs that is prepared. They thought there was a ganja or this thing. Then I remember Baba Craig sent me a message whether there was ganja in the preparation. I said no, we didn't use those herbs for preparing. So that's the point. You know, when you post it, the customs want to know. But now that hemp and all this thing is getting legalized in the US, I don't think there's no problem. But of course, we did not use hemp in preparing or marijuana in preparing any of our things.
Yvonne Mohammed says she wants to know the use of the oil.
Okay, the oil is attraction oil. That's the simple thing. The simple name I'll call for it is attraction oil. It is an oil. When you use it, it enhances your attraction. You will be attracted to people. That's what it is for. The soap is also an aura enhancing soap, so that your aura is cleansed, so that you can be attractive. The same thing with the fumigation. So it is to attract things that you want towards you. If it is business, if you are running a shop, or you are doing a business, or you are going to a workplace that you want things to change, you want promotion, you want opportunities, you want to attract opportunities and attract people, attract whatever you are attracting, because it's a process. You will bath the soap. While you are bathing, you will be making affirmations, things that you want towards you. Then after bathing the soap, you will do the fumigation. When you fumigate yourself, while you are fumigating, the same thing, you make affirmation. What if supposing you are going to look for a job, you will say that, oh, whenever I get to where this job is, I should be selected, or I should get a job. Or take for instance, you are looking for a woman, you are looking for a husband, you are looking for a girlfriend, you are looking for a boyfriend. You want to be attractive, this particular man is what I want. Or you are having a situation that you want to control. Then once you start bathing the soap and using the fumigation and the oil, watch yourself and see how things start happening. The voodoo is such that you must become the experience yourself. When you experience something, no one can tell you tomorrow that it is not. But when you just believe in it, that I believe is different. To experience also is different. Knowledge is different from knowing, is different from believing. So until you experience something, you cannot really know what it is. So they are all to enhance and attract things that you want towards. It is like all of them are like opulence power to draw to you what you want.
Ifa Dara says, I'm in the Atlanta, Augusta area. I can assist with giving your package out.
Okay, Ifadara, so we will get in touch with you. I'll tell Sena and Pele to get in touch with you, and then we'll see how the package will get to you before getting to the individuals. Thank you very much for the offer. I'm very grateful.
Ajo Pupu Anani wants to know the price of the oil.
Oh, Anani, we are selling it as a package. That's why I say it's 120 US dollars. What I mean to say is that if we sell it as a single item, which is only the oil and this thing, I don't know what is around you, whether the oil alone will work on you as a single entity. That's why we are bringing it as a package whereby you do cleansing, you do fumigation before using the oil so that you can get the maximum benefit out of it. So as a package is 120. And as I said earlier, we have only 21 pieces, and that's what I would make for this time until December. I have made them already, and that's all that will go out. So we will not send more than 21 pieces, or we will not sell more than 21 pieces. So when we get the number of people who want to buy and they are within that 21, then we will not take any order because we will not be able to supply. From next year, we want people to use this first and give us the feedback if it really works on them. Because for me, it's working on me because I am the one who produced it, and I'm trying and testing it to make sure it works. And it's working on me. But whether it works on people as it is working on me, I don't know. So those who will buy it are the ones who will give us the feedback to say, oh, this oil is good for me. This is what I wanted, and this is what I got. Then upon that, I will know whether to produce it again in the future. But for now, I am only having 21 pieces. Please try to share. We are sharing knowledge, so people share this on your platforms. Share on your platform. Share on your platform. Share on your platform. Please. Yes.
Sena Voncujovi says it is our new Facebook group. Says the name of the page is Revolution, the Real Voodoo.
Okay, the Sena is saying the name of the page for the platform is what is it?
Revolution,
the Real Voodoo. Revolution, the Real Voodoo. So you type that one or post it so that people can see it. So that people can see it and then follow it. Then they can now place the order. The Revolution, the Real Voodoo. It's a new Facebook Facebook page that Sena or Revolution has placed. Revolution, the Real Voodoo. So you can all go on there and then place your order and also share your ideas over there.
He says people should write a Facebook review and request.
Okay, he said that you have to write a Facebook review and then of Revolution, and then send a request, and then you get access to that page. Yeah, because it is a very limited thing, and it's not only for the selling of the oil, but it's for other discussions. That's why. Because from now onwards, we'll be bringing out some spiritual artifacts, black powders, and all this in little by little, so that the people who cannot come to Africa or come to Ghana to meet us physically will also benefit from the spiritual production, things that we prepare in Voodoo to enhance your life. Not only aura enhancing or attraction. We have certain things like talismans. We have black powders like the one I was talking about, the Alorkpli black powder, and all kind of things. So we have many things.
Ifa Dara says you are most welcome.
Thank you, Ifa Dara. Akpekakaka.
Jeff Grant wants to know how he can get your contact.
Oh, Jeff, our contact is on our Facebook page. It's on Revolution page, When you send a message to us on Messenger, we will give you all the information how to get in touch with us on how to get in touch with Sena in Tokyo and how to get in touch with me in Ghana.
Oludumare Jones says, is it ever coming to Virginia?
Oh, it will come to anywhere that people, is it whether I will come there? Oh, I was in Virginia last 2 years. Yes, I was in Virginia, yes. Maryland, Virginia. I was in, last 2 years. Yeah, but I'm not coming there maybe until next year. Yeah, now I'm not going to travel out of Ghana until next year.
Candy Fisher says, I have a transportation company, therefore I can help with the distribution in the EU.
Wow, thank you, Candy. I'm very grateful. I'll get in touch with you too. Yeah, wow, that's great. Thank you very much.
Patricia Amo, Ifia Sariwa, Papa, please, do colors matter in practicing voodoo?
Yes, we use colors in voodoo a lot because some of the voodoo, like my Togbe Jopata, he uses red, white, and blue color. That's the colors that the voodoo use. And even if you look at the bangle, it's a kind of different colors. So Jopata and some of the Alafia voodoo uses colors, and different voodoos uses colors. But colors matter. But then the basic is white. Just use white. It represents all the colors. So.
We have no more questions. But
how many hours have we got? 1 hour?
1 hour 44 minutes.
We've gone 1 hour 44 minutes. Okay, so we have about 20 minutes to go. Okay, now that we don't have any question coming, let me use this opportunity to discuss what we do here in African Magic Temple once again. I want people to understand that we at African Magic Temple and Revolution, we are real practitioners of the voodoo itself. Our shrine, people may come for shrine tours, which everything, but we are a practical shrine. We are a practical shrine where we are doing rituals every day, doing divination and doing initiations and all kind of things every day. People who let me say people who are in the media sometimes come to interview us or come and ask us questions, or people who are anthropological students from different universities around the world who visit here. They are not practitioners. They only want to write about what we the practitioners do so that other people can know what it is. So people who come to write about us cannot have the same experience and knowledge that we the practitioners have. So when someone comes with their questions or everything, yes, that is their point of view, but we are speaking from the practitioners' viewpoint. We are practitioners. We are not just followers of African traditional spirituality. We practice and we execute it to the best of our knowledge. So when people ask certain questions, we are not those people. We will answer them according to our understanding of what we practice. And then they also may present it the way they understood it. Yeah, but then I wanted to make it very clear to our viewers, our fans and everything, everywhere, that voodoo is not limited to anybody. Voodoo can be taught to anyone in the world. And no one should also think that voodoo is only African. yes, the name may be even name, but there's everywhere is voodoo. I have personally traveled through many, many, many countries. I was in Malaysia, I was in Singapore, I was in Thailand, I was in India, I was in Pakistan, I was in Philippines, I was in Japan, I was in Canada, I was in the US, and many other countries around the world, not to talk about many other African countries that I have gone to. But then each culture and each place, they are practicing what their ancestors left for them to practice. The ancestors are different from their practice. But then the ancestors use the voodoos to do their work. So the voodoo is there. And then the ancestor is also another thing. So I had learned from all kind of cultures around the world. How can I say today that even though I have learned from other people and I'm using that knowledge to teach and build my shrine, that when people come to my shrine, I should not teach them because they are white people? And I had placed the question there that I want our people, black people, especially black people in the diaspora, to tell me what exactly they say that the white man has taken the African man's knowledge and is using it against the African. I want to know one thing, then I will think about it, and then I will also reflect on that, whether that is really happening. Because I cannot see what they have taken, apart from coming to take our gold and diamonds and everything. I don't see what particular spiritual knowledge that the white man has taken away from Africa and is using it against the black people. Because when Dynast came here, he was saying that he heard that in the past, when the white men were shooting their gun against our ancestors, the bullets were not penetrating. I said, I don't believe that. So, and then people were compromised, or people were sell out by either the white man giving them something, and then they told the secret to the white man. That's why, and a lot of people have all these kind of theories and all this. So when did all that knowledge gone to now? If our ancestors, okay, if this thing is taught to us, and then one person among us went and told the white man that my friend is using juju or using voodoo, that's why the bullet is not penetrating him, so you do this and do that, you can kill him. So is that only the person who was killed? Was it the only one who had the knowledge of how to protect himself from a gun? What about the rest of us? What did they do? And that knowledge should still be there. And I know it is still there. And people still use it today. So what is the sellout? When ancestors, as I told Mr. Dinas Amir, that when an ancestors are giving you advice, or voodoos are advising you that don't do this, don't do that, and you don't listen, and you get your enemy to come and attack you, and the voodoo does not protect you, don't blame the voodoo that the voodoo did not work, or somebody sold you out. Before anything will happen to people, community voodoo, but in every community they have a particular voodoo that the whole community surrounds and work with. And then people have individual voodoos that they have personal voodoos. Your personal voodoo will be telling you that something is going to happen, so be careful. And the community voodoo will be telling the person who is in charge, if the person is a real psychic or have a real hearing ability, will be telling the voodoo will be telling the person to tell the people that this thing is going to happen. So don't do this, don't do that. And if the people won't listen and the thing happen, no one should blame the voodoo or the ancestors for not protecting them from against this, because definitely nothing will happen in a community if the voodoos in the town are real. They will tell you and you guard against it. There was a time I went to Bokor's visit to this shrine after his death, because I am in charge of the shrine. I was in charge, still halfway in charge of his shrine. So I was using the mirror to do a divination. We went to feed the voodoo, Togbe Ahobato, and Abochi, and all the voodoos in the shrine. And during that day, I was doing a general reading, and the mirror was just calling people's name. And some of the people, I don't know their names, but then the mirror would just ask me to ask, who is this person? And then they will tell me that, oh, I am the one. Then whatever message the mirror has or had for them, it will say it. There was this gentleman called Simon. He's a very nice guy. So the voodoo Abochi mentioned his name, Simon. Then he put his hand up and said, okay, I told you that you should be very careful. You are chasing some woman. And that woman has got a man. And you too, you are aware that this lady has a man already. So be careful. Stop following this lady, otherwise it will bring death to you. And then he said, okay, he heard it, and he said yes. And then even they mentioned the lady's name. The mirror mentioned the lady's name. And everybody around me that they knew what I was saying. I was the only one who did not know what I was saying. Then everybody called later after the whole ceremony. Then he approached me and told me, so that guy who is following the woman is not serious and is this and that. So for me, I wasn't speaking as a person. The Abochi was the one giving you advice. Simon didn't listen. And then I think about 3 months after the reading, or 6 months after the reading, he had a motorbike accident and died. And the moment he had the accident, people called me here in Accra that, Papa, you said it too, Simon is dead. But then you were advised. So when a voodoo is in a community, before anything will happen, it will caution you. And it will tell you that don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Or tell your people not to do this, not to do that. But then when people refuse to listen to what the voodoo was saying, then anything could happen. And then you don't blame the voodoo that why is it that our ancestors had powerful voodoos, but then the white man came and conquered us. The white man didn't conquer the whole of Africa. We were still living here. Yes, they came to colonize us. They left. We are here. Yes, they took some of our people away. But then also I want people to understand that slavery was in Africa before the advent of Europeans. There was local slavery in Africa before the white man came to do slavery. Usually when tribes fought wars, where the one who defeats the other captures the men and the women and bring them to their place, or try to conquer that village and then make that village their own, and they rule and control that tribe, or yes, that community. So those people in the community that have been conquered become slaves to the victors. That is what it has been in every culture, not only in Africa. It has always been there. Even today, when the USA captured the people during the 9/11 in the Afghanistan war, they capture certain people and keep them in Guantanamo Bay. They are slaves to the US. Am I not right? They captured them because they lost. But if they had won, they would have also captured some US citizens and kept them as their slaves. So slavery had always been in the human society. It was not only when the white man came to Africa before slavery started. It has always been there. There's in our communities and our societies and community setups, we have had slaves within us who became part of the tribe, who became part of the community, who became part of the family, and the generations are there. And if no one tells you that these people's ancestors were actually bought from somewhere before they became part of this family, you will never know. So slavery had always been part. So it's not like our ancestors or our powers were not powerful. That's why the white man was able to conquer us, or somebody sell out their fellow people. That's why. Yes, that could be also true. That there could be someone who sell out. But if you people are asking where was our ancestors before the white man overtook us, so we don't want to follow a traditional religion, why won't you ask the Jews where were their ancestors before the Hitler killed 6 million of them? Why won't you ask the Jews? And people want to be Christian, but they don't want to ask that question. If the Jewish God Jehovah was so powerful, why is it that Hitler was able to kill 6 million Jews? That's what this is, the record at 6 million Jews. So that question does not arise, and it is not a question that anybody will have to say that because white man has taken Africans into slavery. That is why we cannot go back to our ancestral traditional practices. Yes. So is there any question again?
Yes.
Let's answer questions.
Eric Gamo.
Eric Gamo. Yeah, Toby, look at me for.
How often should one give food to his or her Afa?
Afa, if you have been initiated into Afa, your TorBokor will tell you that you have to give food to they'll tell you the times you have to give food to your Afa. But there's something called epelele in Afa. Means you have to bath your Afa. Epelele. And when you bath your Afa, at that time you feed your Afa. And usually you bath Afa in a new year. When you're epelele. So when, like us now, we have our Afa, we have already bathed it and fed it this year. The next time we will feed our Afa again will be next year, either in January or in February. So epelele, because you have to enter into the year, the new year, before you bath the fat, and then that bathing and feeding will take the fat through all the year until the year ends and you enter into a new year. But if you are doing a reading or through divination somewhere, or you are doing any consultation and your Afa says that you should feed it, then you know that it is for a purpose, then you can feed it again. But apart from that, what I am aware of is every year you feed your Afa, you bath your Afa and feed your Afa once. But when it demands more, it will let you know through divination.
Patricia Amo, if you ask Papa, please, do colors matter in practicing voodoo?
Yeah, but I answered that question. I said colors matter. Yes, colors matter. If you are colors matter, but because I, as a voodoo priest here, I don't really use too many colors in my voodoo practices are a little bit different from other voodoo priests. One is because I had gone through a lot of other disciplines, and not only African voodoo or Ewe voodoo. I have gone through all other practices around the world, and I have kind of modernized my practices in such a way that it should be accessible to everybody and to my children. One thing you should also understand is that my children are not all from Africa. I have children from different cultural backgrounds and not all of them will be able to follow into detail everything that the AV would do. So I kind of modernized the practice in such a way that it will be easy for my children to practice and yet still very effective and in its approach so that they can get a benefit out of it. So for this, am I on still?
Yes.
For this, I don't use too many things in my practice here. Yes, but colors matter. Sometimes people wear blue, wear red, people wear white. But here in my shrine, mostly we wear white. We use white most of the time. Unless, of course, if the voodoo demand that we should use another color, then we will. But most of the time, we just use white because white represents all the colors. So that's why we use mostly white.
Senator Voncujovi, it says the revolution, the real voodoo, it's not a page, it's a Facebook group under the revolution.
Okay, as you are saying, Sena is saying that it's not a page, but it's a Facebook group under revolution. It's a Facebook group.
Facebook group.
It's a Facebook group under revolution. So please go onto revolution and you will find that group that is revolution, the real voodoo, which is a Facebook group that has been created. Okay.
Eric Gamo, how you are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Please, what is voodoo done?
Voodoo da.
And how can it be compared to Kundalini?
Yes, you are right. The voodoo da, which is a da, which we in Ewe we call snake da. So in voodoo, we people worship da. But da is the physical aspect of what people see that they are worshiping. But when in reality, it is the psychic da, which is the Kula Kundalini, which is in the Hinduism, which is the serpent, which is lying at the bottom of the first chakra, the Muladhara chakra. The Muladhara chakra being the first chakra, and then the Swadhisthana, and then we come to the Manipura, which is the Swadhisthana is in between the sexual organ. That's where it is located into the spine. And then you come to the Manipura, which is on the navel point. Then you come to the Anahata, which is the chest here. Then you come to the Vishuddha, which is the throat. Each one, the Muladhara controls the matter. Then the Swadhisthana chakra controls the liquid factor. And then we come to the Manipura, which controls the fire. Then we come to the Anahata, which is the chest chakra that controls light. And then you come to the Vishuddha, which controls sound waves. Then you come to the Agya chakra, which is the third eye people call. People are calling Ajna chakra. It's not called Ajna, it's called Agya in Sanskrit. The Agya chakra, which is here. And then we have the Sahasrara chakra, which is at the fourth terminal or the seat of divinity. So this Kula Kundalini and Voodoo are the same. In Hinduism, it's called Kula Kundalini, but then they also talk about the snake rising up and going through all the psychic points in the body, or which is the chakra in the body, until it gets to the Anahata, to the Sahasrara chakra, and then that is when you become all knowledgeable. But the truth is that how many people were able to raise their Kula Kundalini in the Hindu way to reach the even to the Manipura chakra, which is the navel point? It is not easy. There's so much story about it. But then in Voodoo, we are using the physical serpent or the physical snake, Voodoo da, and we do rituals and everything And then we get high to the level where we can see and speak. We can see beyond human eyes, and we can hear beyond the human eyes. So the Kula Kundalini and Vududa in reality are the same thing. It's not much different, Mr. Damo.
Ifadara says yes, you are correct.
Thank you, Ifadara.
Yubo Augustine Kosi says, please, TorBokor, can you please explain Tronkosi system to us?
Yeah, it's not Tronkosi, it's called Tronkosi. It's a lot of NGOs coming from outside wanting to make money out of their people by using African traditional spirituality, created a whole lot of hula baloo about the system of Tronkosi. What is a Tron in the first place? And then what is Koshi? People who don't speak Ewe and who don't understand Ewe culture come and say Tronkosi, Tronkosi, or Tronkosi, Tronkosi. They just call it the name anyhow without understanding the meaning. Because the Ewe language is so deep. When they say Tron, which is a deity, and Koshi, people who serve that deity. So Tronkosi simply means the servants of the throne. We have priests and we have servants. So a Tronkosi is a person who saves the throne. And how do these Tronkosi come about? Some of the Tronkosi are people who themselves who have dedicated their life to come and serve a particular deity. Some of the Tronkosi are people who came to look for children from a throne because they cannot have a child, and they come to the throne and ask the throne or the deity to give them a child. And they also made a pledge that when we have a child, we will let our child be your servant. Because at least the parents have got a child. So the child becomes the servant of the throne. So the person is a Tronkosi. Some Tronkosis are also people who came to make a pledge at their throne. For instance, something happened in their community and they look for who has done that thing. Like maybe somebody was killed in the farm. Listen very carefully. Everybody should listen very carefully. Maybe someone was killed in a farm or at farm or somewhere, and they asked the whole community to own up. Whoever has done that should own up and say, I am the one who did this, or we are the ones who did that. But the people refused to come out and say the truth. So the owners or people who are the family members of the person killed decided to go to a particular deity and to ask the deity to look for who has done that to their family member. So when the deity finds the person, but how would the deity find who killed? The deity or a throne means deity. When a throne will look for, and he got to know that this is like Kofi is the one who killed this person, but it's not owing up. What the deity is going to do is that he start killing people in Kofi's family. He will not kill Kofi. Start to kill important people. They will just be dying. Then people will now go and find out what is going. This is our culture. We don't just see that when things are happening. We want to know what's happening. So they'll go and find out from anywhere through a divination or diviner or whatever. And if the diviner pointed out that, oh, this death is coming from this particular deity, because of this, because of that, that's why this death is in your family. Now, the people whose the victims who lost their person first, and those who are now losing their people will now go to the deity who is killing the people. That we heard that this is happening in our family, so what do we do? There are certain deities in every community we call Tronkosi. A Tronkosi means a deity that takes a human being before it will stop killing. When they send it to work, it will be working, but it will to pay it, it's not goat or chicken or this. But when it say it takes a human being, it's not that they're going to kill the human being. So a Tronkosi are most of them that we have a lot of Tronkosi. So now, for these people to stop the death from occurring in their family, they ask them to bring a child, most often women, to come and be in the shrine to save the god. Or maybe they have find them certain amount of money to pay, which they don't have. So if they don't have that amount of money to pay, then they must put somebody into slavery. We call it in Ewe Aboyome. They have to put someone in to stand in for the money. Until they get the money, that person will be serving at the shrine of that deity. Then the death will be lifted from their family. So this particular person who is staying in that shrine becomes a property of that shrine. It's supposed to work and do all kind of things until his or her people come to pay the money, and then will be taken back home. Otherwise, the death will continue. Tobituji, who is my teacher and my spiritual father, his mother was a Tronkosi at one shrine called one shrine in Agave, Agomido. So that there was a death occurring in their family. So his mother, before he was born, his mother was used to replace the money that they were supposed to pay. So Toby was born at the shrine as a child of a Tronkosi. But see how much he has contributed to the world by his destiny being born at the shrine, and the knowledge that he had acquired and all the spirits, because at the age of 4 he could start seeing already. He began to look into water and tell about the future from the age of 4. And he grew up to 126 years before dying. Whatever I am teaching you here today, most of them are coming from him. So a Tronkosi is someone who become a servant of the gods or the deity. And how does that person become a servant? Because his family owes money at the shrine. And these people who are like the story I was saying, the first person killed someone, and then now the deity start killing people who secretly killed. So now these people whose first person was killed will now be compensated from the shrine by this family that the deity has caught. And then the part of the compensation is to keep one of their children there until they pay the money to the Tron itself, because the Tron also works, so it also has to take its money. But it's not going to take it from the people who came and put the matter before it. It will take it from the people who are guilty. So that's what it's about a Tronkosi. Right now, in my family, my own immediate family, when I say immediate family, my father's side, some of my cousins from my uncles, they did something bad. But we were in Accra, we didn't know. There was one of the guy was here, Gapo. My cousin's son, my nephew. He did a lot of bad things against me, but because he's my nephew, I just ignore. But because they had been doing bad things. The story I heard, he and his brothers were fighting over a cocoa farm. Somebody's cocoa farm. The man bought the land from them and asked them to farm for him. So they farmed for him, and then when the cocoa crops got to the point that the man should start plucking them, they went and did something in the farm so that the man should die. But they are Christians, so they all go to church. They go to New Apostolic Church. So they wanted the man to die, and they did something which was bad. And we were here. One of their senior brothers, the one who came here that time, the son became Kwame. He came here, the son had accident and was in Kolibu, and that's the first day he came to my house. Never comes. They come and they start at the gate. They don't want to come here because me, I'm a Jujuman. They are God's children. Oh no. I mean, let's face fact. I'm telling this to the whole world. They are Christians. They don't want to enter my shrine because I'm a devil's advocate. And they are Christians. And these are Christians doing this. They kill somebody, bury the person in the farm with the mind that when the man comes to the land, that person's ghost should attack the owner of the farm. And the man is also an elderly man. He has grown small. So what happened? If the senior brother died, then the one who followed the senior brother died. Then, before I know, they said Gapo. He died. Within a month, one father, one mother's children, the three all died. That's why people wanted to find out what is happening. And then it was that consultation that they found out that this is what they did. That's why. And these are Christians. Or these were Christians. They were Christians. And that's the good thing that we'll do is. And now, there's a death occurring in my father's side. We just, yesterday, my junior sister, one of my junior sister was buried. Yesterday. So that death is just going, it's going. Instead of the people going to sit down and consult Oracle to find out what is going on. Say they are Christians. Everybody is a Christian. So a Tronkosi usually comes out of this kind of bad deeds, wicked acts that people committed, and then they need to compensate. But the bad thing about that Tronkosi system is that an innocent child who has not done anything bad will be used to pay for someone who has committed a crime. This is the only portion that is not a very good thing. But then, that is how the system is. That's what the system is, that you must use an innocent, because even we were told in the Bible that Jesus was an innocent person, but he has to die for sinners. Is it not?
Yeah.
Now, if that one is okay, then why this one is not okay? If we want to use that analogy, if Jesus, who was innocent, was killed for sinners, so it is always the innocent that pays for the crime and sins of the people who are wicked. And even when we talk about Voodoo, the ram or goat, they have not committed any crime. Chicken has not committed any crime. But when something happens and you want to save life, we use them to exchange for the person's life. So this is spirituality in its real form. Your reasoning and your logic cannot tell why it is so. But that's how it is, and we came to meet it. So Tronkosi is simply a servant of the gods. Eric Gamoy.
Maria Maya, some of these people are self-segregationists. She's referring to their YouTube video regarding the dynasty.
Okay. Everybody is trying their best. Let's say so. We are all doing our best to talk about Africa and how beautiful Africa is, what we have. So we just see this and we don't take it as anything serious, because after all, everybody is trying to let the world know that the African is also a human being.
Patricia Bo, Ifia Sewa, thank you, Papa, for your answers. I'm very grateful.
Thank you, Ifia.
You look very calm today.
I am in white and wearing orange red cap.
Oshi, Baba says, good afternoon, Papa. Please, how many types of witchcraft do we have?
I don't know.
Say we have white, red, and black. It is true.
Oshe, I don't know how many types of witchcraft they have. I only know that they have witchcraft. Whether it's green, yellow, blue, or red, I cannot tell, but I know that they have witchcraft, and I know witches are very powerful. I don't know which one is red witch or green witch or yellow witch or blue witch. But the witchcraft is witchcraft. Whichever it is, whether it is white or blue, it's called witchcraft. And because I cannot tell what is white witchcraft and what is blue witchcraft or what is not. So I don't belong to any witches association yet, and I don't think I want to join them. But nevertheless, witch is witch. It does not matter. But if you are interested in becoming a witch and you want to join them, then you must ask people who are witches what kind of, how many groups they have. Then the one that interests you, if you want to join them, yes, of course, why not?
Father, Papa, you are doing a beautiful job.
Thank you very much, Ifada. I'm very grateful.
Maxi Daxi.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Who?
Maxi Daxi says, where are you from?
Maxi Daxi, I am from the Volta region of Ghana. I am precisely from about 4 different villages, me alone. My father comes from Hohwe. My mother comes from Abate. And my mother's mother comes from Abate. My mother's father comes from Sabado Chome and from Amfuega Akukome, and also from Vakbo. So me alone, I'm from different places.
Haj Rich Rock, what is your job and what is going on?
Oh, my job is only traditional work. I don't do any work again. And once in a while I do magic shows for entertainment to companies. For companies when they seek my entertainment abilities, I go to entertain people.
You don't have any more
Okay, so I'll say today we are done for now. And how many people so far? How many people had watched us today?
29.
You have to check after the video. Yeah, analytics. That's fine.
Okay. So we will say goodbye to you today, and those of you who are ready to order this thing, go to Revolution page, and then they have the group or the Real Voodoo Revolution, the Real Voodoo. So you go there, and then go there, and then place your order, and then we'll also make our arrangements here so that we can get the shipping to you. I think Ifa Odu said that he can help us. Kadifisha also said she can also help us. So we'll get in touch with them. I asked my children, Senna and Pele, to get in touch with you people, and then we'll see how we can ship this to you so that you can now distribute it to people in the US and other parts of the world, maybe. So I thank you all for joining this section. Please continue sharing what we have discussed today. Today we have discussed some deep things. So continue sharing all these things so that others can also learn more about this. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very lovely week. And Christmas is coming. I wish you all good health and good jobs and all the things that will bring the season into happiness for you. So thank you for watching Revolution Facebook Live today.
Eric Gamo wants to.
Eric said what?
He says, from his observation, some of the Afa signs sound heavy. Can you enlighten us on this?
Afa sound.
Signs.
The Afa do. The Afa originally is Yoruba. That's why when they are doing the voji, we are mixing the voji, we say, Anago Peyebe. Who is Anago in Ebe? The Yoruba is what the Ebe is called, the Anago. That's why when the voji are being mixed, they will Afa or Jinjale. Then they will go and say Anago Peyebe. The Yebe is the Ebe people's voodoo. And the one that they borrow from the Anago people who are the Yoruba is Afa. So when the Ebes have taken Afa, they have made it their own. So the Odu, as in Yoruba, they say Ifa Odu. The Ebes say Afa Du. Afa Du. But then the original is Afa Odu. And then in Afa they say Lumina, Lumina in Ebe. But there's nothing called Lumina. It's Oron Mina or Oron Mila. Oron Mila, which is a Yoruba word for one of the Afa deities or the main Afa deities, Oron Mila. Our people cannot pronounce the Oron Mila very well. They say Lumina, Lumina, Lumina. And then it looks as if there is something different. Oron Mila is different from Lumina. And some people begin to look for Lumina. There's nothing called Lumina. It is the pronunciation of our people, adulterated pronunciation of Oron Mila, that's become Lumina, Lumina, Lumina. So Afa originally is Yoruba. That's why the police are all called in Yoruba language. Like Bemeji, Yekumeji, Wolemeji, Dimeji, Mulameji, Molimeji, Ablameji, Aklameji, Budameji, Sameji, Kameji, Trupemeji, Tulameji, Letemeji, Chemeji, Fumeji, Paliche, Tula. All these things, Meji, 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 is Yoruba word for double. When they say Meji, means it double. So if those words are in Yoruba, that alone tells you the origin of the art or the oracle. It originated from the Yorubas. And Nagope. But when it came to the Ewe land, the Ewes have made it their own, so they have also added their whole thing and then turned the whole thing towards the Ewe culture, towards the Voodoo culture. That's why Afa is used to ask the Voodoos how to deal with them or how to work with the Voodoos. So Eric, That is my answer to you.
Ifa Dara says, thank you, Emil and Papa and family. Blessings to all.
Thank you very much, Ifada. I'll be in touch with you soon.
Maya says, thank you and same to you all.
Thank you all, and I'm saying goodbye this time, and then we will see you again next week, Sunday. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Bye-bye. Nicole, Bye-bye. Bye-bye.